Ever think about how much tech has, like, changed the way we learn? I mean, not so long ago it was all textbooks, right? And now, bam, internet in our pockets.
Wild, right?
Totally. And that's what we're diving into today. How tech, specifically this thing called ICT,
Information and communication technology.
right, ICT, how it can change everything, especially for learners who learn differently. And our guide, the work of Atif Hussain.
His perspective is really valuable, yeah. I mean, he's got the IT background, worked in education.
He's an IT director, right?
Exactly, but also author, advocate, a real passion for inclusive education.
And get this, he approaches it all from a really personal place.
Because he's dyslexic himself.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so he gets the challenges of traditional learning, and that comes through in his book, which we'll be digging into. The importance of ICT needs for SEN and gifted students explained.
Okay, so lots to unpack there.
For sure.
Let's start broad. How has tech already changed things? I mean, beyond just having cool gadgets.
It's a fundamental shift. We've moved from this industrial age model of education, standardization, memorization, the whole thing to, well, now, where learning has to be more flexible, more personalized. ICTs make that possible.
Makes sense, but how? What does that look like in the classroom?
It's about breaking down barriers, right? Giving every student the chance to learn effectively. And Atif, being dyslexic, he knows this firsthand.
So we're talking assistive technologies, educational software, even things like, virtual reality.
Exactly. All of that. Those are the tools that can create a learning experience that's actually inclusive, equitable.
Okay, but how? Give me an example. What's that look like in practice?
Okay, so let's say you've got a student with dysgraphia, right? Struggles with writing, voice-to-text software. Game changer.
Oh, I see what you mean.
They can express themselves, get those ideas out there without the actual physical act of writing holding them back.
It's like removing the obstacle so their brilliance can, shine through.
Exactly.
Powerful stuff.
And it goes beyond specific learning disabilities, too. Like, imagine a student uses a wheelchair, right?
Right.
Virtual field trip to the Amazon. Totally doable.
Whoa. Suddenly the world opens up, even if physically getting there isn't possible.
Exactly.
So important.
But, and this is key, Atif doesn't see tech as this, magic solution. It's a tool.
And like any tool, you got to use it the right way.
Exactly.
It's about understanding each student, what they need, and then finding the right tech to, supercharge their strengths, not just throwing iPads at the problem.
100%. It's about recognizing there's no one-size-fits-all in education.
Right.
Yeah.
Ditching that whole norm thing, some kids fit and some don't.
Exactly. Atif's big on focusing on what each student brings, their strengths, then using tech to help them, flourish.
Makes sense. But we usually talk inclusion, it's learning challenges, disabilities. What about gifted kids? Do they fit this? I'll be honest, never really thought of their needs as special the same way.
Great point. And Atif tackles this head on. Easy to assume they've got it easy, right? Excelling in some areas.
Yeah, ahead of the game. Why would they need extra support?
Exactly. But he challenges that, points out gifted learners, they often face their own hurdles.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, picture a traditional classroom. Yeah. Set curriculum, everyone at the same pace. For a gifted kid. Stifling.
Ah, I see.
Boredom, feeling unchallenged, that leads to disengagement, even behavior problems.
So even if they're acing tests, their needs aren't met. It's like intellectual malnutrition or something.
There you go. And beyond the academics, social emotional struggles are common too.
Oh, right. Fitting in when your interests, your abilities are different. That's tough at any age.
And that feeling of being different, not belonging, isolating, no matter how old you are.
It's weird, right? Gifted intellectually, but emotionally, they're still kids, developing at their own pace.
Exactly. And Atif argues tech is key to addressing these often missed needs.
Okay, so how? What's that look like practically?
Think personalized learning platforms. A gifted kid blows through the basics, let them move on, explore deeper concepts on the platform, keeps them engaged, challenged.
Instead of being stuck, right?
Right.
Options, flexibility, not just a rigid structure.
Bingo. Atif's also big on online communities for this.
Oh, finding their people, even if those people aren't, geographically near?
Precisely. Validation, belonging, that might be missing offline.
This reminds me, Atif talks about the why of tech, not just the what.
Huge. He hammers home, tech's a tool. Real change is how we use it, our mindset, our whole approach to teaching.
So not fixing kids or seeing some as problems to solve.
Exactly. Atif's all about a holistic view. recognizing each learner's unique strengths and challenges, and building an environment where everyone thrives.
And tech is a big part of making that happen.
Absolutely. But it takes effort from educators, policymakers, everyone to make sure tech is used thoughtfully, equitably.
It feels like a huge responsibility,
Yeah.
making sure tech actually makes education more inclusive, not less. How do we even do that?
$1 million question right there. And Atif, he gets that.
Hmm.
For him, it starts with awareness. Educators knowing how kids learn differently and how to use tech to support that.
So teacher training, resources, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And it's bigger than just teachers. Parents, families, they got to be in the loop too. Knowing what's out there, advocating for their kids.
Takes a village, as they say.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Atif's background, the IT world, that probably gives him a unique perspective on this, making tech integration actually work.
Totally. He talks about this building those strong partnerships, right? Educators, tech specialists, administrators, families, everyone on the same page. That's when real change happens.
And not just in the classroom either, right? This could impact, well, everything.
Atif's big on that. His vision. A world where tech lets everyone participate fully. Abilities, disabilities, none of that matters.
Yeah.
And that's what's so hopeful about this, right? It's not just making life easier, it's about making a more just world.
Feels like he's giving us a call to action. But where do we even begin? It's kind of overwhelming, honestly.
I hear you, but it starts small, right? Locally. What's in your own backyard?
Like, are there schools near me doing cool things with tech and inclusion? Or organizations that help kids with learning differences?
There you go. Or connect with people already doing the work. Educators, other families.
And just talking about it helps, right? Spreading the word. The more we talk about how tech can make things more inclusive, the better chance we have of actually making it happen.
Couldn't agree more. Atif's point is we all have a role to play in creating a world where everyone can reach their full potential.
It's not about the gadgets, really, is it? It's about people. Using these tools to connect, understand each other, build something better.
Well said.
So we'll leave you with this. Atif says tech can level the playing field in education. What does that world look like to you? Not just in school, but everywhere. And what's your role in building it? That's something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.